I'm an IELTS trainer and I will be doing your webinar today. So, welcome to Red Fox Education's, IELTS webinars. So, today we will be talking about IELTS Speaking Skill Part 3. And before we dive into the webinar, I would first like to give a gist about the IELTS exam because we might have newcomers and let's not, just throw them into the speaking skill. We'll first explain to them what exactly IELTS is about. If you already know, thank you. So we'll just have a small recap. Yes. So IELTS is an exam that you give when you want to travel abroad, either to study or to work. So the first decision that you have to make is the first decision you have to make is whether you want to do the IELTS speaking, the IELTS academic or the IELTS general, and the difference between this is the IELTS academic is an exam that you give when you want to study abroad, and the IELTS general is an exam that you have to give when you want to work abroad. So this is the major difference. The second decision that you will have to make is whether you want to do your IELTS computer based or written, paper based. So again, there's not much difference when it comes to computer or written. The major thing is that you will be giving the computer-based test on a computer, so there'll be a lot of typing work. So if you're really good with computers and technology, and your typing speed is really good, please go ahead with the computer-based IELTS, especially in this COVID time. It's safer. But then there are a few drawbacks, like for your paper-based test, you will be given extra 10 minutes to transfer your answers into the answer sheet for reading and listening, whereas for computer-based test, you will not be given 10 minutes, you will be given only 2 minutes. Many candidates use this time to review or check their answers as well, so you will lose on that time. So that is something that you have to consider when you're choosing between IELTS academic, paper based or computer based. So now the next step is IELTS tests you on 4 skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And all these 4 skills, again for the computer and the written based test, all of the everything you're going to give on the computer, and this everything you're going to write except for the speaking. For the speaking test, you have to face an examiner. You have to sit face to face with an examiner and speak. So many people have a lot of assumptions when it comes to the speaking test. So today we will be speaking about that. Okay, so speaking has 3 tasks: task 1, task 2, and task 3. Today we will be speaking about task 3, which is the lengthier speaking section. Excuse me. So generally your speaking test lasts from say 11 to 14 minutes, and it mostly won't be more than 14 minutes, and there are very less chances that it will be less than 11 minutes. You will take at least minimum of 11 minutes, but this completely depends upon the examiner. So that is something that you can keep in mind, that your test will last not more than 15 minutes. And in this, the major portion of the time you are going to be doing IELTS speaking part 3. So this lasts for about 4 to 5 minutes, and you will be asked 4 to 8 questions. The IELTS examiner asks questions related to the topic in part 2. Now, for those who don't know the test again, your part 1 speaking will mostly be an introduction between you and the examiner, where questions like where do you live and do you like the place you live will be asked. And in part 2, you will be given a topic, a cue card. You will be given a minute to prepare, and you will have to speak about it for 2 minutes. And in part 3, you will not as such have time to prepare, but you will have to elaborate on the topic that you spoke in part 2, and you will have to give detailed answers. So to begin with, let's look into the things that you should avoid when you're doing IELTS part 3 speaking. So don't think, don't consider that your ideas have to match with the examiner's ideas. Please don't speak to impress the examiner. Your speaking should impress the examiner. Your ideas don't have to impress her or him. uh, they don't have to agree on your point of view. That is not required. They're not testing you whether your idea is good, whether they agree on your point of view. They are just testing your communication skills. So it is very important that you understand that your views don't have to match with your IELTS examiner's views. So there is no criteria to mark your opinions during the speaking test. So this is something to consider. Next, please avoid giving memorized answers. It's not a good idea. You know, eventually, actually not even eventually, immediately the examiner is going to find out. They'll figure out with the speed that you're speaking, from your words, your pronunciation. It's going to differ when you're just memorizing something and you're just pouring it out. There's a difference between narrating and speaking. So try to not give memorized answers. This way you might end up giving irrelevant answers, because you would have memorized for something else but the question will be something else. So this way it will really affect your score. So it's better to work on your speaking skills rather than memorizing your answers. So it's advisable that you talk and listen to native speakers to improve your vocabulary. And when I say that you talk and speak to native speakers, I would also like to add that we have a lot of British tutors, and we have one-on-one classes as well as group classes, and it will be really helpful, because not only for speaking, that is not only for your pronunciation, also for your listening, it will be very helpful when you listen to native speakers speaking. When you are in live, generally they suggest that you make a native speaker friend, and it will be really helpful to improve your communication. But I would suggest that you when you have a native speaker guide, you will get guidance. It's not just a friendship. You will get proper guidance on where your weaknesses, where your strengths are, and he or she will really be able to guide you and take you through the process. So one really big advantage about Red Fox Education is all the materials for our IELTS course has been designed by our expert British trainer, and taking up classes with him will really help you with your pronunciation and your vocabulary. So this is something that is very important for your speaking and listening, and that is something that I'm giving you an option to consider. Yes. So moving on, please don't give short answers like in part 1. Like I said, in part 1 you have to give just one line or maximum two line answers. Please don't do that for your part 3. You should provide long and explained answers with 3 or 4 sentences. Try to give some reasons that will define your point. So try to do that. And you can also conclude with a sentence. That will be really helpful. A conclusion is not only required for your essay, it is also required for your speaking. So please try to conclude. Now, one point that everybody try to do, please do not overdo. If you want to use a fancy word, many people think that using a fancy word will fetch you your desired score. um, you don't really have marks for a fancy word. It's not important for you to use big words. It's important that you use the words that you already know correctly. That's really important. So you know you don't have to use fancy words. Just make sure, I mean, when you're using fancy words, just make sure that you know the exact meaning. Otherwise you might use it in the wrong context, and then that will reduce your score. So if you use a word you are not very familiar with, you might tend to make a lot of mistakes. So this will be out of place, and the examiner will reduce your score. Hence it gets really difficult. So it's better that you use words that you're really comfortable with, and words that you generally use in your everyday life when you're speaking and practicing. In case you decide that no, I have to use this word, so then please understand the meaning, understand the context, and put it in the right way. Put forth the word in the right way when it comes to your speaking. Okay. So okay, let's just move forward, and at the end, maybe I can clear your doubts if you have any. So, moving forward, speak and explain your ideas with confidence. So, many people see you are in a hall, you are in an atmosphere where it is a life decision. You're not simply for time pass taking the test. I completely understand that your entire life is dependent on the exam, and you really want to score well, because it, this test is your future. But that doesn't mean that you can lose your calm. The minute you lose your calm, that means your score is being reduced. So try to keep up your confidence, try to keep yourself calm. Even if you're not sure whether your answers are good, You can still get a band 9 if you are confident, and if you speak confidently. This is one thing I often tell a lot of students, not only IELTS, even communication English students, is that when you speak confidently, there are a lot of chances that the opposite person might, miss out a mistake that you make, because they are concentrating, they are listening to your confident speaking. So even when you make a mistake, it just gets covered up. So please remember to, show off your confidence and be really confident. So the examiner pays more attention to your fluency and your pronunciation. So use a lot of, you know, uh, I won't say use high end vocabulary. I would say use a wide range of vocabulary. This way you get their attention. Okay, moving on. If you do not understand a question, it is better that you ask the examiner to repeat the question. Like maybe, could you please repeat the question? Or I'm sorry, I did not understand. I would like to listen to it one more time. So it's okay. They are not going to reduce marks for because you are asking them to repeat a question. They are not testing your listening skills. They are only testing your speaking skills in this. So it's absolutely okay. It is better to understand exactly what you're asked, other than answering something wrong and then you losing marks for that. You're human. It's okay to make mistake or to miss out a point. It's completely okay. Okay. Moving ahead. Uh, Sometimes you might need some time to think about what you're going to say, because again you have to really elaborate, you really have to give a description for this section. So when you want a few seconds, you can think of words like that's a nice question, or okay, I would need a minute to think about that. Use phrases like this that will get yourself some time. Try to figure out how to connect your ideas and get ready for a nice confident speech. Okay. Okay, then next I would like to talk about the various type of questions that the IELTS Part 3 has to offer. See, IELTS has a lot of different questions, and you cannot as such, say that, okay, these are the questions that, like for example, in your board exams, you always have a question paper, the previous year's question paper where you can prepare. This question has been asked so many times, so, there are a lot of chances that it might come for this exam. You cannot do that when it comes to IELTS. But there is an effective technique known, in this, when you use this effective technique, there are chances that it might really make it easier for you to speak. So I would like to share that with all of you. The first thing is, give a direct answer to the question. When a question is asked, don't go around in circles, just give a direct answer. Next, define the reason behind your specific point of view. Again, you are actually developing content, so give an answer, then define the reason as to why you gave that answer. Next, give an example to support your point. It is okay to discuss your life experiences. In fact, I would suggest that you describe your life experiences, because when you're speaking about your life experience, what happens is you are connecting to that. So you know so much about it that you're going to be very fluent with it. It's just going to flow. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to process information. Your brain already knows it. Just going to be like a small chit chat, like as if you go home and you tell your family, my day was like this. So it's going to be something like that. So any doubts so far? Okay, I'll just continue then. Okay, so moving ahead, the fourth strategy is, conclude with a sentence by connecting your ideas and examples to the matter of the question. Like so much time you spoke, all that you spoke, just, put it all together and then, give your ideas. So it is important that you give examples that matter to the question. So following that, before I give you a few more points, I would like to tell you that we have an IELTS course. We have three courses, that's beginners, intermediate and advanced. And during these three courses, like for all the three courses, you have a total of 40 classes, where you have 20 online classes and 20 offline guided classes. And I mean, intermediate and for your beginners, you also have supplementary. You also have a supplementary course where this is additional, and you can take it up just when you feel that you want to brush up your grammar before you actually get into IELTS. Many people make this mistake where they just rush into IELTS and their grammar is still a little shaky, and because of that their essays are not really good. So I would suggest that you brush up on your grammar before you get into the course. All of these courses cost 5,000 INR, and included in this you will get all material. Now all our material, every single material is very carefully designed by our British experts, and our British expert is also an IELTS examiner, so it's all the more useful. We have podcasts, we have audios, we have videos, then you have a lot of worksheets. I will be showing a sample of worksheets right now, and along with worksheets you also will have the lesson PDFs, so you have a lot of material to look forward to. You also have a lot of practice classes, practice tests and mock tests. If you subscribe for an IELTS class, your materials come free. But at the same time, you don't want a class, you want only materials, you are free to purchase only the materials. So you can purchase any of the materials from our website, that is Red Fox Education. And okay, I think I have a doubt. Yes, Mr. Nirban? Mr. Nirban, is there a doubt? Would you like to ask for something? Okay. Moving ahead, we also have a Red Fox Education app where you will find a lot of free materials. Like I said, we have three courses: intermediate and advanced. And in these three courses, your beginners material is available free of cost. It is available in our app, and our app is available both in Play Store and in App Store. And we have the link for you in the chat box, so you can check that out. We also have the Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube link in the chat box. Please check that out also. Yes, if you have any questions, you can post it in the chat box. I will complete the speaking topic, and then I will get back to your questions. After the speaking topic is over, I would like to show you a worksheet and a video. Okay. So continuing, I would suggest that you try to speak as much as you can. And I would also speak in front of a mirror. Yes, a mirror is better. I'm not saying no, but a mirror is okay when you just have to improve your communication English. When you're giving a test, please take some help. Either speak to a native friend. Now, if you're not, that is what I said. Instead of finding a native speaker and being his friend, I would always suggest that you be in touch with a native speaker who is a tutor, because they will be able to guide you better on this. So that is something that you can consider. If not a native speaker tutor, you can at least get in touch with somebody who's really proficient with the language, who knows their pronunciation, so that they can really help you focus on it. Okay. Next, something that almost everybody suggests is watch a lot of movies and series. Yes, I would suggest that too. But along with that, I would request you all to listen to broadcast channels such as BBC, CNN. These channels have a really high standard for their language. And what happens when what happens in this process is that all their anchors and all the words that they use is in perfect pronunciation, so you can pick up a lot of words this way. Thank you. Yes, so that is something that I would suggest, that you watch a lot of these news channels. Now, moving forward, I would also like to remind you that your vocabulary and your grammar each carries 25%. 25 for vocabulary and 25 for grammar. 25% of your total speaking score. So it is really important that you work on your vocabulary and your grammar. One of the best ways to do this is um, take up a grammar course, like how I suggested the supplementary course. Take it up, brush up your grammar, and then get into IELTS, so that you know that your foundation is strong and that you will not make a mistake. So it's really helpful when you get your foundation strong. You cannot do math until you have your foundation strong. It's the same way for speaking and writing. Writing, Grammar is very, very essential when it comes to writing and speaking, but grammar will also help you when it comes to reading and listening, especially in listening. When you listen to something and you miss out a word, when you're so clear with your noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb, preposition, you will be able to guess and write down your answer. So that has helped a lot of people, and it is also one of a very proven strategy. So get your grammar really brushed up. Okay. Moving forward, how does the speaking test assess you? So I would like to share that with you. Fluency and coherence. So this is the first part. It assesses you on fluency and coherence. So this criteria refers to the speed you talk and how you connect your ideas on your feet. As in, see, you cannot just keep on speaking. You cannot give a lot of pauses. You have to give the right pauses in the right places and make sure that you give very relevant answers. Next, we'll look into lexical resources. So I'm so sorry I'm coughing so much today. Okay, so looking into lexical resources, the examiner pays a lot of attention, okay, when how well your vocabulary is, and most importantly, how well you use it. So, knowing big words is not important, using those words is important, like I already mentioned. Again, we have a lot of vocabulary and word related quiz and a lot of materials on our Red Fox Education mobile app. You can check that out, and it will really be very helpful. So it is also important that you speak with the correct pauses, and you know and one more thing that often many people forget is, if you make a mistake when you're speaking, it's okay. Excuse me, if it's not that big a mistake, you can always correct it. Like for example, I say something wrong, I can always say sorry, and then I can use the correct word. If it's a big mistake, just go on, just carry on. Either there are chances that the examiner didn't notice at all, and in case the examiner did notice, once you carry on with the flow, they'll tend to forget. So you know don't stop or don't get stuck when you make mistakes. Next is the pronunciation. So pronunciation is very important. Your tone, your pitch, your pace, everything has to be very clear. And one suggestion that I give everyone for clarity, to get clarity in words, is to open your mouth and speak. The wider your mouth opens, the clearer the words are going to come out. So in the beginning, you might find it very odd, but as you go ahead, you will be able to not you don't have to open your mouth that much, but you will eventually get the words clear. But to begin with, just open your mouth as much as possible so that the words come out clear. And please remember, your accent does not matter. You do not have marks for your accent. So accent doesn't matter at all. You don't have to try to imitate in British accent, American accent, Australian accent. Not necessary. Even if you have a neutral accent, it's totally okay. Indians generally have a neutral, more than Indians, I would suggest that Asians generally have a neutral accent, and that's completely okay. Please don't try to imitate an accent. Faking an accent is a complete no-no. So what you need to do is pronounce the words clearly with proper effect. So with that, I would like to tell you that this things that I wanted to tell you is done, and I would like to now show you a worksheet. So you can find this worksheet on our mobile app under the beginners portions, because this is completely free. But this is how our worksheets look like. So it's not just speaking, reading, writing, listening. For example, in this, see, you first have to, the topic is given, you have to list out your reasons and your opinions. This way what happens is, your ideas develop, you are able to think better. You won't go to the exam and stammer. Only once all that is done, then questions will be given, and there are a lot of different type of questions here. Like you can see, what kinds of food do people like to eat in your country? Should schools do more to teach children about health issue? Should the government increase tax on junk food? What are some benefits of a university education? There are various different types of questions like this. This will help you too. And moving ahead, there are sample answer scripts, so that it will there is an idea of how you should answer it, and then also the answers are given. So this is how our worksheets look like, and I can assure you that it will be extremely helpful. Next, moving ahead, I would like to show you the video. So this is how our mobile app looks like. once you know install it, you will have to sign in with your Gmail account, and once you go inside, this is what you will see. You have free IELTS online course, so let's click on that. Moving further, you can see lesson videos. There are 42 different lesson videos. So under that you have different type of videos: speaking, talking about likes and dislikes, speaking, adding detail, describing trends and changes over time. Then you have writing task 1, and then you have reading, essential skills, scanning and skimming. You have a variety of different lessons, and all this is just beginners. So I'll just play one for you. Under that you can see you have related videos that a lot of suggestions.
Hi there and welcome to Lesson 5. In this lesson we're looking at Task 1 writing, and in particular
So with every video you can actually, our British expert, he gives you suggestions and topics. Then we look into lesson audios. Under lesson audios you have 14 different audios, so you can listen to this. It will help you a lot in your listening examination. I'll play one for you.
I'm a student at the moment at Kingston University in England. My degree is in engineering. I work as a data analyst for an insurance company in Osaka.
So what happens is, when you get familiarized with this, automatically your listening exam becomes really easy. Then you have lesson documents. There are 20 PDFs of different categories. I've just opened one for you, and I think this is speaking. So yes, so talking about work and studies, talking about where you live, going ahead, speaking, work and studies, grammar focus, examples, speaking practice. So this is how our lesson looks like. When you come to class, all of this will be explained to you in detail. And then worksheets, we have 31 different worksheets, 31 free worksheets. So these worksheets again you can use to work on your skills. So you don't just have to write an essay. This is how you actually write an essay. First you go through it, you make your points, you get yourself ready, and then you write it out fully as an essay. So all the worksheets are very fun, and it keeps you on your feet. It's not just boring. I have to write an essay again and again and again. It's not like that. Then you have, see, this is for what is this? This is bar graph task 1 academic writing. So these worksheets look like this. Now coming back, like I said, see, you can see a lot of videos. There's a lot of videos. It's for children. It can also be used by adults. There are phonics videos. There's a lot of content in the app which you can use for free. And once once you're done checking that out, you can subscribe because the costs are really nominal. Yes. Is there anything that anybody would like to ask before we wind up the session? You can even just put it in the chat box and I would be happy to answer your question. Okay, once more I would like to repeat, we have 3 different courses: beginners, intermediate and advanced. All the 3 courses are for 40 classes, and each course starts from 5,000 INR only. And you can you can either choose to study in a group, or you can even pick one-on-one sessions. You can choose to study with either a British tutor or an Indian. It depends on your what you would like to do. And in case you choose to study with an Indian tutor, you will get one class, uh, a review or a mock session with our British expert. Any other further questions that anybody would like to ask? Okay. So, okay, fine. Then, like I mentioned, you can all check out the app. There's a lot of free material. Please do check that out. Further questions, please contact us via WhatsApp or even call. All the details are there on our website. And looking forward to our next webinar. Please join. And if there is any suggestions, if there are any topics that you would like to have a webinar upon, please send a message in the WhatsApp group. We would surely respond. So I had a lovely session with you. Looking forward to the next session. Bye bye. Have a lovely evening.